If you want to set appointments or sell a lot of stuff online, then this private training is for you. My good friend, Nick Corvasis, who is the CEO of Scale Lab, he's one of the smartest marketing minds and one of the best media buyers on the planet, did this private training on the 24/7 salesperson for a group of entrepreneurs and influencers that I advise. Now, this is a private training, and Nick actually breaks down step by step on how you can do various things to sell stuff online with this 24/7 salesperson mentality. Whether you're doing affiliate offers, whether you're trying to book sales calls, whether you're trying to get a book funnel where you want to try to sell more of your books and your products, whether you want to do more affiliate marketing, whether you want to sell courses and digital products, whether you want to just get appointments for real estate or mortgage or coaching or consulting, all of these, having a 24/7 salesperson is really powerful. And Nick shows you step by step on how you can do it on autopilot. This is a private training with Nick Corvasis, CEO of Scale Lab, all starting right here, right now.
Whether you want to start a book funnel where you're selling a cheap book and getting people into your ecosystem, or you have a small course, or you want to make a small course to sell profitably to get people in your ecosystem, this will kind of hit both of those things. And I kind of think of it as like building a 24/7 salesperson in a way. If you're sending either organic traffic or paid traffic to some kind of a page where people can buy something from you, and then you can indoctrinate them more through email or whatever into your main offer, whatever it is, it's basically like a salesperson working all day and all night for you, which is cool. So what I'm going to cover is just kind of like the proof of the whole thing and a really cool case study. Then I'll go over the foundation of like what this thing should look like, what you should have before you consider doing this, or why you should consider doing this, offer structure, the sales letter, which is important. And then I'll show some ad examples, which I love to go over, as well. And then we'll do Q&A. So for the case study, and I'll kind of explain the stuff and zoom in on it a little bit, but I literally just took this screenshot before this meeting. So as most of you guys have know, I've been running ads for a lot of different people, doing a lot of cool stuff with them. And a lot of them did low ticket offers. And I think having a low ticket offer, whether it be a book or a course or something like that, is really, really important for lots of businesses out there. I think almost everyone should figure out some way to incorporate it, because you get great leads, people that are spending anywhere from $40 to say $200 or $300 with you, become a really good lead. You can offset advertising costs. It's a great way to indoctrinate people into your system. And a lot of you guys know that I've been doing that for a long time for a lot of people. And so I wanted to do it for myself, because obviously it works so well for a lot of people that I work with. Why not do it for myself? So we did, and we did it through two ways. I did it with my own offer, and then I did it with a few affiliate offers. And it'll kind of all come full circle here when I talk about offers specifically. So I started, I think in May, was profitable then, didn't do too bad. And then last month in June, which is what this screenshot is, we spent around $75,000 on these specific ads, like this low ticket offer in particular. So we spent that, and then we made like $108,000. So it wasn't too bad, quite a bit of spend, like $30,000 in profit from this initially. And this is kind of like 3 months in ish for this specific offer. And all that to say, one, I did it for myself because I do it for so many other people, like I said, and why not do it for myself? And it all comes back to say as well that having a good offer and a good offer structure is really the foundation of this whole thing. I tell that to people all the time. And I think it's the most important thing. Your funnel could be horrible. The branding could be atrocious. Everything could just look really, really bad and not feel great. But if the offer is good, you'll get good results. And so that's what I kind of did here. And kind of my case study and proof in the process is, hey, I can go to anyone's offer on the affiliate marketplace or even create my own. As long as it's a sound offer and people are interested, it'll work. And so that's kind of what that proved. And like I said, whether it's a low ticket course or a book funnel or a combination of the two, it's important to kind of have that offer nailed down. So with that being said, and I'm not going to go super deep into like offer creation. It's not necessarily my forte, I would say. I mean, I think a really good place to start is just reading Alex Hormozi's $100 Million Offers book. I think is a really good place to start. A lot of the basic stuff in there is really good. And a lot of it can be pulled back into trial and error. So whether you have an email list or a small social media following or small email list, or even if you have a decent sized network, kind of testing your offer in those places without really needing to spend any money is a really good place to start. And obviously with you guys being in this group, I think it's a really great place to share offers here and to kind of see what people are interested in or what other people would maybe want to look at.
Hey, Nick, can I
Yeah.
ask, I think you already I was gonna ask you about your $70,000 spin and stuff like that. Was that low ticket, or what was the offer?
Yeah, so the offer on this was a wellness product. It was the front end product was a $52 like product. And
So
then
was it
there
a
was some,
book? Was it a
it was
was it a
this
book
one
or something?
specifically was a course.
It was a course. Okay.
There was a course as the main offer. The bump was an ebook to go along with it. And then the upsell, I think, is just like additions into that course, pretty much.
Okay.
So was this an affiliate that you were like an affiliate thing that you were doing? This wasn't your course, right?
Correct. So this specific one was not mine. I think we spent another like 10 or 20 grand maybe on like my own offer, which is like an ad pack. So it's like pay $37 to get 50 ad creatives that have worked really well for us and our partners. And then we added on, I think, like the upsell was just more creatives that they could buy. And then it was kind of that similar structure. So we did a little bit of both. The affiliate stuff worked way better because it's like mass market. It's a very generalized wealth offer, or not wealth, wellness offer. Whereas mine is way more specific to business owners and the business owners running ads. So that is something to think about is where's the market cap for that, or how can you reach as many people as possible in one offer versus the other, if that makes sense.
So this was a $52 with a few options. You showing this here is like the result over how much time?
This one is just for the month of June.
So so that's 30 days basically,
Yeah.
1 month.
Yep. Yep.
Okay,
Exactly.
and so the $50 product, and you had some upsell, downsells, and things like that, and then so you suggest that we have some sort of lower ticket for kind of overall on this?
Correct. So kind of like the structure that I like to go with is something similar to this. So whether you're selling an ebook, your own offer, looking at an affiliate thing, I think most of us like your own offer makes more sense because although on the front end of say like my offer where I was giving that ad pack away, it wasn't nearly as profitable as the affiliate offer, but I got so many good people into my ecosystem. They joined my email list. They booked a call with me, and then they kind of ascended into what other things that I offer for some people. So there can be more of a benefit there. But this is what I would recommend is having like the low ticket structure like this, where that first product, whether it be the book or the course, between $37 and $97, then having some kind of a bump. And I'll show you guys visually what that looks like for people that don't understand what I'm saying with that product, but that should be 27 to 67. And recently we started testing a recurring product here as well. So I have some people that have like like a mastermind group that's low ticket. It's like $67 a month or $97 a month. We put that in the bump product, and it actually hasn't done too bad. The take rate's a lot lower, but gets them in a community, and obviously you guys can see the benefits to that. And then as a baseline, I think having at least this first upsell is super important. And the first upsell should just be more of what they bought. So like for my ad pack offer, they got I think 50 ad creatives for the main offer, and then I just offered them another 20. And some of them were custom made for them as well. So it's just more of what they bought, and that's what I always recommend having in this first upsell. And then the second upsell was something a little bit more higher tier. In some cases, it's a whole new course or it's something else. This isn't always necessary, but I think this is kind of that main baseline that I would start with. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Can I ask a quick question? So I'm actually trying to work on something right now that can be similar to this. So the OTO one, what does that stand for, by the way?
Low ticket offer.
Or one-time offer.
One-time offer. Sorry, I said LTO.
So in this particular case, the 147, 197 was a mastermind, like a weekly or a monthly mastermind or something?
For two clients that I work with now for the bump, it was 97 a month recurring. So they joined like a school community for $97 a month.
Oh, on top of the main product.
Correct. Yep.
Okay, and then the OTO.
And then the OTO for most people, and what I would recommend it to be, is kind of more of what they originally bought from this main product.
Oh,
So-
so in this case, you were saying you were giving them, you were building some ads for them for the price or something.
Correct. Yep, exactly.
Oh, okay.
It should just be
Leo-
more.
Well, we can get, Nick, we can give you an example of for mine thing, right? Which was the main product, which we started at 97. When I brought it down to 47, it sold a lot more. So I think one of the things from that Nick, you taught was like, if you're going to cold traffic, 37 or 47 is a lot easier to sell than 97, right? So that was the self-operating business playbook. Then the bump was delegation mastery. So if you want to, so it's related, right? Like if you want a self-operating business, you got to be really good at delegating. And then the one-time offer, originally we had something about sales, but that did not do as well. And we replaced that with one on hiring a team of A players. And we had a lot more takes on that.
Yep.
So but they were all kind of related to one another. And it all fits in this structure right here.
Yeah. I'll use yeah, thanks for that, Bruce. I'll use Sharran's too as an example here when we used to run the productivity playbook. And then I think it'll make it even more clear too. So people would buy the main product, the productivity playbook, for 37 bucks. And then this section right here is the bump. So that's the one for like some people we're doing right now where they can, it's like 97 per month to join like the school community. But in most cases, this should be an add-on. It's not necessarily more of what they already bought. And then the upsell in this case, I think it's calendar mastery. So productivity playbook to calendar mastery, even just in the name, I'm sure Sharran's spoken about it a decent amount of times. They sound so similar, and it's basically just giving them more of what they bought, if that makes sense. Is that clear for everyone? At least this kind of like structure that I think works best.
Yeah,
Yep.
I just had I think because the main product is a one-time product, that the pricing is okay, unless you are trying to, I think to Bruce's point, unless you're trying to, because if it's a one-time product, you don't have churn. So if you have churn, you can sell more. It's the bottom line results. And if you put it for less dollars, you actually get more money, is kind of what you're talking about. So if it's a subscription of some sort, then you have to work with the, the quality and the, what your monthly cost is going to be. And that's different because you'll have churn. But if it's a main product, it's just a one-time sale, then of course
Correct.
you want it to be low as possible so you can get as many sales as possible. The math may work out better.
Exactly. No, you're dead on. You explained it great. It's a different way of thinking versus if you're doing like high ticket coaching or coaching generally or anything like that. It's more about, yeah, how many people can you get into the funnel at an appropriate cost? And because once someone buys this thing, it's more likely that they buy everything else. And in most cases, everything after the main product is where you make most of your money. So that's right. Ideally, like 97 works, you'll get people to buy it, but you won't get as many. And it's probably better to price it between 37 to 47 and then get more, so you get more dollars in and it ends up working better. Exactly.
Yeah, for every $197 that you sell, you make more money if you can sell 3 of the 37, let's just say, right?
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
Right? So,
What's the
go ahead.
2% mean, Nick? What is that?
Great
That's the
question.
take?
So that's the take rate. Yeah. So like
Okay.
all these conversion or all the percentages here is like the baseline take rates that I shoot for each one. So I want 2% of everyone that sees this sales page to take this one. I want 30% of people to take the bump, 20% to take upsell 1, 10% to take upsell 2. Yeah.
So this is a funnel. These aren't individual offers. This is all one funnel. And
Correct.
you're upselling them as they go throughout. Got it. Okay.
Correct. So you can see here, like visually for Sharran's, I don't know why this keeps reloading for me. But it's each step. So there's that sales page and order form. Think of them as just one thing. It's selling that one product. Then there's that upsell 1, upsell 2. And then the bump is on the order form. before they actually like hit submit and I want to buy.
Now the and the 2% you're saying is from people who click on this page, like from an ad. Is that?
Correct. So the 2% that I aim for is like 2% of everyone that hits the sales page I want to
Okay.
convert is the goal.
Okay.
Yep. So all separate offers, all kind of working together across a few different pages, if that makes sense.
So then, I mean, from a math standpoint, because you're upselling people throughout, you don't have to make, like, you don't have to get those clicks for less than, well, I guess if it's $37 and it's 2%, that means like 1 out of 50 people who land on there, right? Which
Will buy.
means that your ad costs, if that were your only product, your ad costs would have to be less than that, right? Like
Yeah.
it would have to be 37 divided by 50, it'd have to be less than $1. But because you can upsell people along the way, you're able to get more money out of people, which allows your ad costs to go up. So with these
Exactly.
scenarios, let's say it's a $37 to $47 product, what does the math turn into? Like, what does your cost per click need to be?
Great question. So at a baseline, if we just take like your numbers, for example, you'd need to have your cost per click at like 75 cents. It's like right under $1. In a mass market offer, kind of like the wellness one that I decided to do an affiliate for in the past few months, that's achievable. That's pretty easy to hit as long as you have good ads and you're testing. For something like my like for Bruce's offer, for example, or for my like ad pack, it's going to be a little bit tougher to hit that. However, with my offer, even Bruce's, if someone purchases just this $37 product, let's say I shoot them an email, I get them on a call with me, and they sign up for something high ticket, it makes a ton of sense. So in some case, and I think who's it now? I know I'm just totally blanking on his name. Frank Kern. I know he talks a lot about like loss leaders. This is something that it could be, just depending on how you want to structure and kind of the strategy around everything. But usually on like most of these offers, I try to keep my cost per click around like $1, maybe $1.20 or so. And because of the upsells and everything, it all works out.
That's without a high ticket offer, just following this pattern that you have right here, $1.20 per click, and you can have a self-liquidating offer. Is that what I'm understanding?
Just about. Yep.
Yeah, and Justin, if you had let's just say a $47 product, and then you had a bump in a one-time offer, let's just say your average order is 100. Then when you're doing your math, you could pay up to $2. Right. So you don't look just at the main product. If you have a funnel, then you have more space, and that's just on the front end. So if you have a coaching program or higher level products on the back end, then that's where you make all your profit.
Yep. And I'd say like, yeah, these are definitely very baseline numbers. Like this 2%, ideally, I would love for it to be like a 3, maybe even a 3.5% if possible. I think 2% is the bare minimum. If you like I've launched, I think we launched like 2 other low ticket offers for people in the past couple of weeks. Theirs launched at like a 1.5% conversion rate, which isn't bad. That just means there's a few things we got to tweak. There's a few levers we got to pull on the landing page to get things to work, like the headline, things like that. But if you're launching it and it's like under 1%, or like you send a lot of people, you send like 100 or 300 people there and like no one's buying and the clicks are bad, it's probably an offer problem.
I've got a question that's not, I mean, it's related to ads, but it's unrelated to this topic. So just let me know at whatever point in the conversation, even if it's at the end, if you want me to interject that, but I don't want to take you out of flow here. So keep going.
No, I'm good right now. Does anyone have any other questions on like the structure, like what this visually should kind of look like, or I can walk through it again a little bit more too? All makes sense.
Nick. Same thing with Justin. I don't want to take you out of your agenda, but if I were to do a course like on school or something like that, would you structure this any different?
No. They're going to join school for free, right? So they'll pay X amount for a course and then they just get into school and get access to the course, right?
Yeah, yeah, I'm kind of open. Whatever. I mean, that could be one way. Or
Yeah.
do they pay for something and they get something else for free? I don't know. I guess I'm relying on you to, like, if
Well,
I were
Craig,
to
Craig
do
just
that.
did this, right, Nick?
Yeah, for the Millionaire Mentorship.
Right. So he did free. People could join for free. They got access to something. And then he sold them on the $97 or 99, whatever it is per month.
Correct. And they get a little bit more. And then anyone that buys any kind of courses gets in as like a pass, essentially. And so yeah, I can show that near the end because I do something really similar. I changed it a little bit. But I can show that at the end if that's cool with you guys.
Mhm.
Okay. So I think I was just kind of thinking, oh, what are the models that, would work? But yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, no, totally. Okay, cool. Any other questions on this stuff for now? Good.
Well,
Good.
so one, this funnel that you've created, have you found that you can almost insert in any product and change the headline, the image, and it pretty much works? Like, is that, if you've kind of figured out that these 4 points of a funnel, and it's now, okay, whether I'm wellness, whether I'm coaching, it's a matter of just inserting in a new video or a new kind of ad copy, and it works? Is it that universal, or is there a lot more science to each individual offer?
This like structure specifically right here and the pricing, 100%. I've had people that give tons of pushback on either the pricing or not having upsells, not having a bump, having a bump. This like structure, I'd say like bar none, is like the way to do it if you want it to be profitable and if you want it to work. I mean, from the affiliate offers that I run, they do this and they have thousands, maybe even more of affiliates pushing it, and it works very well. Other offers that have a lot lower numbers, same thing. I think this structure is super, super important. The pricing can be tweaked with and played with a little bit. Like with Bruce's example, you could totally get it to 97. You'll maybe get a little bit less sales. However, the quality could, in theory, be a little bit higher. But in most cases, like, and I can show you guys like the funnel structure that I use, this structure as far as pricing and like offer layout, as long as that's in place and the offer is good, you're in good shape, and you will get sales. I think the trick is making sure they turn into profits. And I think that's just thinking about your strategy and how you want to actually set it up. Do you want it to be a loss leader or something that it's break even and then you make your money on the back end if someone converts into higher ticket? Or do you need to play with these numbers more and get these conversion rates higher so you can have it just profitable in the front end and you don't have to think about the back end at all? You can just crank as many people through as possible, essentially. But it is very universal.
Is that, if you're open to sharing a snapshot of that, or happy to even pay for it if you normally sell that, I'd love to have
Yeah,
it.
I honestly don't, but I can totally give you guys kind of a link to what it looks like. And I mean, yeah, I use a lot of my stuff and go high level, so I don't mind
Same.
if a couple snapshot or something. I don't mind at all. I do that for Sharran and for you guys.
Cool. How do you want us to, you just give us a link for that, huh? And then we just,
Yes.
I can't remember how the snapshots work, but
Yeah, what I'll do, I was gonna drop it at the end, but it's cool to do now. Just shoot me an email here.
Okay.
If you guys want like the snapshot, or if you have any like random questions, just shoot me an email and I can get you guys sorted out.
thank you.
Yeah, thank you guys. Cool. Okay, there's just a couple more things I'll zip through, and I'm sure a lot more questions will come from it, which are great. I'd rather have questions and engagement than a silent crowd. So I'm cool with it. All good on this stuff for now, at least?
Yep.
Cool.
Yep.
Sweet. Okay. So the next piece that I kind of want to show you guys is the sales letter. And this is essentially a framework that I like to follow. So you'll see here, let me back up real quick. So you'll see here on this like productivity playbook page we used to run for on, and a lot of the other pages we do. I've updated it a little bit now, but it's very like traditional long form sales letter. Even if it's not this wordy, there's still a lot of text, there's still a lot of content in these. And at the core of really everything that you do, it comes from writing some kind of a sales letter. I'll put this link for you guys in the chat. But this is essentially the framework that I like to follow when I'm writing my sales letter. And it's super simple, very applicable no matter what industry or what niche. And I won't go through everything step by step since I dropped the link for you guys. But the important thing with this and what's great about this is when you write it once and you kind of follow this generalized framework here or this framework, let's say your conversion rate is a little bit lower. Every single element in here that we wrote is a lever that you can pull or that you can adjust to increase that conversion rate, which is really great. Because a lot of people, they'll get an offer that they think is amazing. They'll even push it to like their organic audience. People are buying it and they like it. And then they start running ads to it, which is the way to scale and make way more money and help more people with it. And then it just falls flat. And then most people are like, okay, well, like, what do I do now? Like, what do I change on the page? Is it an ad problem? Is it a marketing problem? Media buying problem? What do I do? Most of the time, the very easy levers to pull are on your ads and on your funnel. And every single one of these elements are things that you could change. And in most cases, it's the things that are a little bit higher up here. So making sure your headline and claim is really, really strong. You have proof of the claim. You're making it really clear who it's for. And you have a really good like main insight or argument. I think of it as like your main thesis of the entire offer. As long as you kind of have these top 4 elements really dialed in, or even if you don't, those are the first things that I would start to play with if something is like if that conversion rate is under 1%, or if it's at 2 and I wanted to get it to 3, those are the things that I would play with. So I think I've started to like this more and more as I see people start to like it more and more when they figure out, okay, yeah, like these are the things I can play with to improve my page. So that's the next kind of point for making sure everything is set up correctly and kind of what you need all in all. Does that make sense? Or any questions on the sales letter framework?
I think I get it.
You have some examples with the framework?
Yeah, that'd be
Yeah,
interesting.
yeah, totally. I'll send this link too, because this is one that we used to run for Sharran. This page, and I've got a couple more too, essentially uses this exact same framework. There's big, bold headline, big claim. There's a big story and a thesis within the story. And it goes through this is actually probably a perfect page. It's very cleanly laid out. Some of the other pages I have more pictures and maybe videos, which are great because maybe they look a little bit fancier, I guess. But this page worked very, very well. And it follows this framework exactly. So I think I put it in the chat for you guys.
Easter egg after
Cool.
Easter egg. This is great.
Anything else on these ones? And then I'll kind of run through some ads real quick and then we can do more Q&A.
So basically, if I'm listening to you, you're saying before you think about ads, you need to get the offer and the funnel set, because until those things are right, it doesn't make sense to do any traffic.
Correct. In most cases, yeah. Unless you have an offer and a funnel that's kind of there. And maybe like for some, I know a lot of people that have a great offer. And like I know actually a couple of doctors that have clinics that have little courses and they give them to all their patients. Like I know a few chiropractors that do that, but they don't run any ads, but they've had hundreds of patients come through and they do whatever they do with them in person, but then they also give them some kind of a course or material. And then that's a case where, okay, the thing is proven, people are using it and it works, but you don't really maybe have anywhere else to promote it. Ads are a great place to kind of get your proof of concept down and to test. There's different ways to do it, but most of the time, yeah, I think it's so important to dial in your offer. And even like writing the sales letter first is great, because then all your ads you make, you don't really have to make them. You come to your sales letter, take key elements and key points from it, and those basically become your ads, which is great. So you're kind of killing 2 birds with 1 stone by setting this up.
Now, if somebody doesn't have a course and they're a coach here in the group and they want to get some clients, how would you tweak this for someone trying to create an appointment system?
So they don't have a course. You don't want a course necessarily, or at least at first, but you mainly just want to get people on the phone, right?
Yeah, I'm just thinking, because I know you talk about the difference between someone has an appointment funnel as opposed to a product funnel.
Yeah.
So what would differ in an appointment funnel?
Let me see if I can grab.
Because I know we have a couple people here who don't have products, but they're coaches.
Yeah. Let me see. I think I have a really good example here. I've actually got a couple. So it's actually going to be, it's going to be pretty similar as far as like the sales letter side of it, but the structure is definitely going to be different. And there's a few different ways you can do it. I'll show you a few of these first. So this is someone that we've been working with for a few months now. He coaches people on their golf game. And for him, he's got a sales team. The biggest benefit for him is if he can just get people on the phone with his salesperson, they'll talk to them and then close them on his coaching program. So the structure is super similar. As far as like what it looks like from a high level, there's some kind of an opt-in page where, very similar to the low ticket offer, big bold claim, big benefits, some kind of a strong thesis that people are interested in. Then in most cases, I like to have some kind of a VSL page. So delivering on that promise that I was kind of pushing for on this page. So you can see for this one, if you're an avid golfer that spent thousands on lessons, use this unique mechanism, tour proven pathway to transform your golf game with these 3 simple changes, right? Learn the 3 changes you can make today. So it's super simple, big promise, very specific result. And the second page here, when after they opt in, because they opt in to kind of learn about the 3 changes, this page is basically delivering upon that promise. Like, hey, here's the 3 changes. That's what this video kind of goes through. And then once they watch it at the end of the video and then throughout this page, it's all pushing them to, hey, you've learned these 3 changes, but these 3 changes aren't going to be the end all be all. You need more. You need something that's personalized. Book a call is kind of the gist of the whole thing. And this is kind of how it's structured for him and for a decent amount of people that we work with. So it's very similar with like this next page is almost in a way a mini sales page. And I mean, in theory, that you don't really need this. Like this VSL of his, a video sales letter, is essentially this sales letter in video form. So we helped him like write the whole thing out first on paper. We worked through it, and then he basically picked up a camera and filmed it. But it's this same sales letter in video form. Like if we watch the video, there's a big claim, proof who it's for. It basically goes through all like 29 points, give or take. And then after they watch, they can click here and it flips them to the next page to actually book a call in the calendar. So that's what that would look like if someone was wanting to book a call. I would follow something super similar. Now, we've done tons of different variations. We've done stuff where the video is on the first page and they opt in, and then the call, and then the calendar's on the next page. We've done variations where there's an opt-in, a VSL, an application, and they fill out the application, and then it's a calendar. We've done like everything all on one page. There's no opt-in at all. It just sends people to a page and they opt in and they book a call. Tons of different variations that we've done with it. This offers more lower ticket, and I'll show you how like dead similar it is for a really high ticket offer. Like this is like a $20,000 to $30,000 offer that I'll show you guys now. You'll see how really similar it is. It's actually kind of funny.
Hey Nick, when is appropriate? I have a question for you.
Okay. Yeah, like this is the other page, right? Strong claim. They click here to get a demo, flips them to a video page, and then on the video page they can click to book a call. So if I were just coach, wasn't really doing anything, wasn't really running any ads, anything like that, and you simply just want to get booked calls on your calendar, setting up a very simple page like this is the way to go. You can totally expand upon it. You could add kind of like this, guys, where it's more, it seems like a sales letter. There's a little bit more info. Totally cool to do that if you want to expand upon it, but in its simplest form, strong headline, click, VSL/sales letter, and then they book a call, if that makes sense.
Got a question, Nick, on the sales page, that spreadsheet that you had shared with us. Is this the proper order? It looks like it is based on what I'm seeing there. I've heard Alex Ramosi, maybe even others, talk about how like the dog whistle, like attention real estate agents, right? I noticed that you have that down like on line 4. What do you recommend there? What have you seen that responds best? Is it to make the headline claim and then a few lines down call out who you're talking to? Or is it to call it out right away?
That's a great question. I think you can do both. And maybe I could even update it, but like, this is just one I have offhand. I won't go digging around for another one, but this is a good example for
That's dog
this
whistle
page.
right away, right?
Yeah. So like, I think you could, like, if we were just taking that same kind of concept for Sharran's page here, you could probably put like in the eyebrow of the page some kind of very quick dog whistle where it just calls people out very quickly, and then it goes through with the normal sales page, and then it calls them out again.
Okay.
I think it's important to do it multiple times actually, because I don't know, I think it's very just to keep kind of connecting with the person. So yeah,
Well,
that's kind of how
I
I would
agree
do it.
with it multiple times, and this is just how I think about it. You need a dog whistle first before you do anything else, because like, hey, this is for you or not before I waste any more time, right? If I'm looking at it, so I would do that first. I think as a rule of thumb in general, unless there's a special case, right, Nick, is like, hey, who are you talking to? Who is this for? Because people need to know, like, hey, did I come to the right place or not for something? Let them bounce if not, because otherwise it's just wasting time and stuff like that. So I would probably do the dog whistle first. I think was your question, Justin.
Okay.
Yeah.
I
think it is
one of the
important to
questions.
include it there. Or go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Yeah, I would include it up here. The other thing to think about is think about like what problems your ideal avatar is going to be having if it's easy to kind of convey it. So like one easy one that Bruce we may have done, and I know I do with Craig a lot, is like if you're a business owner, or kind of the statement like, is your team not listening to you? Is your team not doing what you want them to do? Well, the only person that's really going to resonate with that is someone that has a team that has a business in most cases. If it's a stay-at-home mom, dad, or someone that's not running a business, they're probably going to look at that and be like, okay, wait, that's kind of weird.
Yeah, state the problem, and they'll resonate. That vets out whether they're the avatar or not.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Justin, go ahead.
Yeah, these side question, but these logos here across the bottom, what's the ethical? I would imagine everybody that has these logos on their site hasn't necessarily been featured in these. I believe that Sharran has, and many more. What's the ethical thing? Is it you need to be featured, you need to be covered, you need to have read it? Probably not the last one. But like
I've read all these things. That's why you should trust me.
Wouldn't that be nice?
I think it's getting kind of overused, to be honest. People kind of are tuning out. I mean, you can have it, but whether it actually does anything for some of the people, probably minimal, I might guess.
Yeah, I don't think like I would actually be
really bad.
curious.
I don't think it'll make it worse. I don't think it makes it worse.
Yeah, I'd be curious what the conversion rate would be with them and without them. Like when I did because I started my low ticket product, I think a year ago, I had a friend in the industry and I paid him like not a ton of money to get not in like Inc. or like Forbes, but in like other ones like Digital Hustle and some other like online business ones. So I get featured in them because I wanted to have them in my funnel. So someone wrote about me and I had an interview and it was all legit. I mean, I paid to get on them, and I don't think it's the end of the world. So
I think that's how most of them work, right? I mean, you have to be pretty famous.
Yeah, actually, most of them are pay to play now. Yeah, so you don't get featured in Forbes or Inc. most of the time unless you pay.
Yeah,
I think those are actually better for SEO than for something like this as far as effectiveness. People will find those pages. I think that's more for SEO. Like if you search your name on Google, those articles come up. I think that's probably more the purpose.
Exactly. Yeah, I agree. I totally agree. Cool.
Hey, Nick,
Yeah.
this is the perfect timing. Very first time we started running Facebook ads, and we had no idea what like a Facebook ad, like maybe literally like 10 days ago. So we are just like getting our hands dirty. Do you mind like maybe I show my dashboard, and I have no idea. One guy from India is helping us to run this. Maybe you can look at it. Is it going the right way? Should I like maybe change anything? Maybe like five minutes of audit will definitely help.
Yeah, I want to show everyone some of these ad examples real quick. I think maybe Leo or Justin had one more question, and then absolutely, I have no problem checking some of that out, and I'll probably have a good resource for you to
Sure.
check out as well. So let me show you guys some of these ad examples real quick. And I know we're mainly talking about like the offer structure and funnels and whatnot, but I think the ads definitely play a big part into it. So I want to show you guys what's kind of been working recently for us. Can you guys see my Canva?
Yep.
The brain scan thing? Cool. Okay, good. Okay, good. So from me being on here in the past, a lot of the same stuff still works very, very well. I still love like super simple creatives, nothing crazy fancy all the time. They still work great. These Twitter style posts are one new one that's been working really, really well for us. So we'll just write it as if someone's posting on Twitter, and that's our ad. And there's kind of twofold here. Comparisons are working great for us. I mean, they always work really well, but it's something I definitely wanted to share with you guys. So the comparison between one brand versus the other, the comparison versus anything. Like we've done stuff like Dunkin' versus Starbucks, sleeping in versus not sleeping in, cold showers versus not cold showers, to-do list versus no to-do list, any kind of comparison or something where there's some kind of like 50-50 decision that people can make. Those comparisons as an ad work amazing. They were great in ads, emails, social media posts. A lot of the stuff on the ad side is going to work everywhere, but it's one ad. I'll show you guys a couple of these, but these are AI images. We've been using these a lot more probably in the past like 6 months. We use a software called Midjourney, and we just type in the prompt and then it whips it up. And then you can do cool stuff like uploading like Elon Musk's face or like my face or Bruce's face, for example, and then stitching it on like some kind of AI figure, which is really cool. So you can do fun stuff like that. So I think I have a couple of those.
So I've
Yeah, do that now. Do that now before it starts wearing out. That it's Elon Musk in every single marketing thing. So I would suggest do that stuff now.
Yeah, and I think you can keep as long as you keep coming up with new ideas as everything, and you make them unique in your own. I think the better. Like we've done a ton of really cool stuff like this, like because we found on one of our affiliate offers that like anything with like someone's grandma just works really, really well. Like my grandma did this and got rich, or my grandma did this and remembers me again, and like crazy stuff like like a grandma next to a Lamborghini. All this was made with AI, besides the text, obviously.
Yeah, so really, don't believe anything you see anymore. If in case you were wondering, because from here forward, I mean, Nick is on the cutting edge, but if you fast forward a little bit more, everything's gonna be like this.
I'm still questioning if we're actually talking to Leo, so you've got me. Yeah.
Another big one though, like another big one that I think is super good that not a lot of people use is like UGC content. I think the name of the app is called Billio or something like that. I did it for some of like our affiliate offers and some of my other ones. You basically pay a couple $100 and you can get like real life, not AI content creators to like film stuff for your product. So if you guys are like Instagram Reels or TikTok or whatnot, people reviewing like different products, they make really, really good videos, and it makes it look super professional, and they get really, really good results. So it's a really good way to kind of mix like AI plus video, or I'm sorry, having AI images plus like real life images, videos, etc. of people. It makes a good mix, and you're kind of balancing it. And those
makes your AI content believable because it's mixed in with other stuff. Yeah.
yeah,
It's really,
sure.
it's really good.
And who does
Yeah.
that, Nick? Where do you go to find?
I think, let me look. I think
Probably
the
do a
app-
Google search, you probably find it. It's basically just kind of talent.
What would I search for? Like AI video, something?
This is the one that we use. Billow, that's what it's called. So like, yeah, these aren't AI, but like we'll basically like pay content creators. You like tell them what you want them to say, whether it's a script or what you want them to do, and then they'll do the ad for you pretty much.
And that's like what we're looking at there, like that girl that's walking up the stairs. That's AI.
No. This is not AI, but I'll mix
Okay.
this in with like my AI ads and whatnot. So everything kind of is well rounded.
Yeah, Justin, you might be a little mixed up here. So the stuff here is just you just get people to film stuff for you.
Okay.
Okay. And
This
then
is AI.
when sometimes you see the ad, that's real life. It's obviously real life. And then you have other AI content. It makes everything work better because now you can have a mixture of AI content and real life.
Let's say not in the same frame. You're saying different pieces. You've got AI
Right.
Correct.
Right.
image and then a real video. Got it.
Right, as a strategy, so that your AI, so you don't want to do, if people start seeing everything that's AI, they're not going to believe it no more.
Yep.
I mean, unless the strategy is obvious that it's an AI thing that you're trying to sell and that's your angle, that's fine. But I think it's a really good point Nick is pointing out, is that you do some live, even if you do 10% live stuff and the rest of it AI, that's still way good, you know?
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah, but this is a great software or a great service, I guess. Billow. It's not horribly expensive. Like some of them, they forced you to like, they wanted to force me to put in like $1,000 in to get like 5 videos. I'm like, I don't even know if this is gonna work for my offer. So I think I only spent like $100 a video, and I got 2 videos just to test it out to see if it worked, and it was pretty solid.
So you get a video fully ready to go, captions and everything.
You can choose. So you can ask them like, I just want the raw video and I'll do all the editing, or you could ask them for like video with full captions and B-roll and the whole thing. And yeah, they deliver it to you like fully edited, chopped up, ready to go. It's pretty cool.
So if I gave them a script, they would do it, or is
Yeah.
that, or they you can tell them to come up with a script, or like a mixture, or
I actually don't know if they come up with the script. For me, I gave them a script and they followed it along perfectly. I mean, I'm sure if you wanted to, you could say, hey, like this is my product, check it out. Could you please film a video for it? They'd probably do that too.
yeah, because if they're good and if that's their career, I'm sure they can do that and maybe charge a little bit more, I guess.
Yeah, potentially. Yeah.
Okay, that's good
Yeah,
to know. So
definitely.
the one that you did, you gave them a script.
Correct. Yeah, I just gave them like a full script. They did the whole thing. Yeah, it was great. They did a great job.
Cool, thanks.
Yeah. Cool. And then a couple other small creatives. These like challenge creatives are really good. These show up on Twitter like everywhere in tons of different variations. So we'll do like this XYZ challenge according to your age or based on your business size. You could kind of fit this into any kind of structure that you want. And we'll just have lots of different images of certain things and then the call to action at the end. These have been doing really, really well. Kind of shows that comparison again. And I think people are still always very hooked on challenges and whatnot. These still work great, like really simple, like iPhone notes app, creative, like very simple, just white text, black background. You could invert it as well if you want to, but these still work really, really well. Oh, and then we recently started doing like these emoji creatives. So like equation with emojis and then like a headline and a CTA or something like that. Super simple. They catch people's eye. They've been working really well for us. Is actually what just
You
started
go
doing.
back to the notes one where you just had the simple note.
Yeah.
I just want to take a screenshot of that. And you're finding that this is actually, people will click on this. It just has your simple message on it and it's
Anything,
that.
I'm assuming anything that makes it feel like real life when they look at it.
Exactly. Yeah. Makes it seem like actually
This is
someone
just,
like typed
yeah,
it
so
out.
this would be one example, right? If you took a screenshot of like the iPhone, like Sharran does sometimes with his presentations, like, oh, I believe it because I can recognize it's an iPhone screenshot, right?
Mhm.
It just automatically
really-
feel like it's real.
Exactly. A really cool, now that you're saying that, could be like a Google search. Like I could go into like a Google search bar and like type, I don't know, a really strong headline or something and screenshot that as the creative. I'd figure out how to do it, but that actually could be really cool. But exactly. And then we've actually done these before where they're like typing. Obviously this one's going like way too quick.
That's cool.
But we'll post them like this too. Yeah. Canva makes it really easy to do. I'll slow it down so people can read it. But we'll post it with the typing and then like the actual iPhone like typing sound that people are like used to. So we kind of do it all. It works great. It's really
You
cool.
do the typing sound?
Yep.
Yeah.
How do you do that in Canva?
It's kind of like when you're on the phone with customer service and they're typing in the background, like we're trying to get you to the right person. Tick, 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 tick. Like,
Yeah.
we know that's stupid.
Yeah.
I just got it from like in Canva. I'll look up like typing sound and then audio, and like it's one of these keyboard types. It sounds nearly identical to like the iPhone typing.
Yeah. I
But what
think
about
maybe
the
Justin
like
was
the image
asking
itself?
about the image. Yeah, it's like a dictation. Just like, writing it out.
Yeah. The image itself is like we like edited it. So like we like
okay.
typed out with like the font, and then like we basically typed all this out and screenshotted like these Wi-Fi logos and all these things
wow.
to make it seem as if it's just, because formatting wise, if screenshotting it from the phone, it wouldn't totally work sometimes.
Is that for optimized for Facebook or Instagram, or what's the?
This one is for like 1 by 1. So like Facebook feed, Instagram feed, some of the other ones. And then, yeah, I'll put it in like a 9 by 16 for stories or something like that.
Was that
But yeah.
an animation? The typing thing was like an animation, the where it types out itself?
Yeah,
Is
you
it called-
pretty much,
was it-
yeah, you pretty much select it. And I think it's like, yeah, you click animate and then you can choose
Oh,
typewriter.
and it types out, yeah.
Yeah. And
It's
then
the
you
same as, yeah, it's the same as the caption on the Instagram stories or Instagram reels.
Exactly. Now that I'm thinking about it, another really good one, like kind of following the same example, is going like just make the ad. I've had tons of these actually. Make your ad in like as if you're posting an Instagram story. So like go to Instagram, start typing your ad and putting a cool background or images or whatever, and then screenshot it or save the story, and that can be the ad. And then even if you push it specifically on like Instagram or Facebook stories, it looks so native. It looks like a real post, like someone actually posted it, which is great. Those are all the creatives. I don't know how long these meetings usually run. I don't want to go over time for you guys, but I think we're coming up soon. Yeah, like 8:15.
Yeah,
my
we
question-
usually go to 8:30, so you're good.
Okay, cool. Okay, good.
Till you're sick of us.
Yeah, you take a Saturday time.
No, I'm not. I'll keep going. I got tons to go. One thing I do want to say, because I these are all the ad examples that I had here for today. This will probably, and I know I'll review some ads here in a minute, but this document here, this funnel diagnostic sheet for anyone that is running ads, and I'm not focusing a ton on that today. This pretty much shows you all the key KPIs that I like to track, like cost per link, click-through rate, what it means if you were explaining it to a third grader. I hope I tried to make it as I could, what it actually affects, and then different ways to influence it. So I filmed like little videos for each one of these. So if your cost per link click is more than $3, here are 4 different ways that you can improve it. I know we didn't go over ads a lot, but and I won't have time to review everyone's ads, but I'll put this in the chat too. If you guys are running ads and you're like, I don't know what I'm doing wrong, or I don't know what to fix, or if you just want to understand it a little bit more, this document shows those like main KPIs. And like I said, all these link to different ways to change them. And I try to update it at least a few times a week, or at least once a week with kind of a new way to influence said KPI.
Hey Nick, I don't see your screen.
I do. I see a screen.
I do.
Oh,
Yeah, I
you
do. Yeah, I did.
Oh, okay. Maybe it's me.
You gotta worry about Leo tonight.
Everyone can
Hurricane
see
in
we have-
Houston.
And by the way, all the links that you put in there are working, and so thank you very
Okay,
much.
good.
That's very generous of you.
Okay, good. Yeah, of course. Good
This is
deal.
awesome.
Yeah, of course. Justin, Leo, I don't know if you guys had any other follow-up questions, then Famsi, I
Yeah,
can
let
get
me-
on with your ads too.
Yeah,
Sure,
thank you.
absolutely.
Let me share in fact, just a question about this this spreadsheet you just shared with us here before I go onto that.
Okay.
Explain that again. What does this do? This is you go and you optimize this regularly?
Correct. So
Like,
yeah, so this is like if you're running Facebook ads, Instagram ads, Google ads, etc. If you're running any kind of paid advertising, this is almost like the playbook that I'll look at to determine what's wrong and what I should do to fix it. So if, let's say I started ads for my low ticket offer and I've spent $200 and I haven't gotten a single sale, I can look at the landing page to see what some problems are, but there's tons of things that could be wrong with the ad. Is it creative? Is it the copy? Is it the audience? Is it the targeting? What is it? This doc is kind of a really good like diagnostic sheet to kind of tell you what's wrong and what isn't. So I'll basically, and this is almost how I go into someone's ad account and kind of diagnose everything to see if it's being ran correctly or like what are kind of the low-hanging pieces of fruit. So if I went in someone's ad account, let's say I went in my ad account and I saw an ad that was $5 per link click. Well, I know that, okay, my overall ad isn't doing too well. My ad copy or headline could use improvement. Let me see 4 different ways that I could kind of fix this problem, for example. Or my click-through rate, I want it to be 2% or higher. Let's say it's 0.5%. I know that my ad creative is the problem. Here are some ways that I can change it. So in most cases, not everything will be wrong. I mean, I've hardly seen that. In most cases, there's usually 1, maybe 2 things, sometimes between 1 to 3 things that are wrong. So sometimes like the click-through rate will be really bad and the CPMs will be really expensive. So I know that, okay, I got to tweak my audience a little bit and I got to make some new ad creatives. So that's kind of how I work through it. If that,
so this is in sequential order. You start at the top. It's like, okay, if my CPLC is less than $3, I'm good. Okay. Next section, CTR, right?
Yep.
And no, it's not 2% or higher. It's 1%. So I start with creative and I tweak the creative first. And then I come back and say,
Correct.
okay, now, so just like one variable at a time, you're just tweaking it all the way down. Okay, interesting.
Correct. Now, sometimes, and that's a really good question because I didn't think about it like this, because usually I'll just look at them all together, but that's right. It's usually in the sequential order and I'll stop and I'll fix this thing. However, I'd say one example where that maybe wouldn't happen or where you maybe need to go a step further is like, let's say this cost per link click is $4, but let's say my click-through rate is great. And let's say everything else is good, but then my CPMs are like $100. Well, the main issue here is the CPM. It's way over KPI, whereas the cost per link click is way closer to home. So in that case, CPM is driving up this link click. And that's really the only scenario where that's going to happen. It's not going to be like my CTR is driving down my cost per link click in most cases. That's usually the bigger example, just to keep it simple as well, if that makes sense.
Now, when you click on copy hook over there, is that like evergreen? These are just principles that you've put in place?
Yep.
Okay.
It'll go to like
So
a
this
Loom
isn't
video.
changing. This is a template. You use this same thing every time to go through and evaluate how to optimize each ad.
For the most part, yeah. But
Okay.
sometimes I'll add new ones in. So like, I don't know, if I realize that something else will benefit the cost per link click, I'll film a new video, drop it in the link, and
Cool.
obviously take it
That's
off
killer.
here too. So yeah.
I'll jump to my question. Is that okay, Leo? If I jump ahead of you there?
Yeah, you're all good.
So what I'm working on right now, I've got a technology company, SaaS-based platform. We help real estate agents get referrals from other professionals in neighboring industries like financial advisors, et cetera. Our focus right now is on bringing real estate agents onto the platform. And we have an outbound strategy. We have the data for the ideal avatar. So an agent that sells 2 to 4 homes every month and does it by referral is an ideal client for us. So we
Okay.
have a bit of a low ticket offer. It's a $500 membership fee per year. So right now we have an outbound strategy where we're calling this list, and we are having conversations with these agents, letting them know the opportunity to claim their exclusive territory. And what we believe is that if they're hearing about us for the first time, our conversion rate on those calls is going to be lower, right? Because they're getting solicited by all kinds of, now ours are actual referrals, but in the industry right now, everybody's claiming to have referrals, even if it's somebody filled out an online lead form. It's like, I got a referral for you. And it's like, let's define referral, right? This is actually like a warm introduction from somebody. So it's a higher value offer, but it's hard to differentiate that when people are getting solicited as much as they are right now. So what we believe is that if we can get in their news feeds and in their email inboxes prior to the call, there'll be some familiarity, and it will improve our rates. Because now ideally it'd be great if we could actually secure people all the way through ads, right? But because we're a relationship-based platform, having a conversation with somebody up front and making sure that they're the right person to put on our platform is important to us. So we're fine having a call. So we're not necessarily trying to drive from an ad to a call, although if we could pull that off, that'd be amazing. But right now, our attempt is just to keep ad costs down, is to just go for impressions, right? It's just to have, put an ad copy in front of somebody. So they're like, oh, cool, that's interesting. And then when they call, it's like, I feel like I've heard about you guys, right? So let me share with you what we've been putting on in these ads and that aren't getting many impressions. And so you've given me some ideas already, but if you have any other suggestions on what might improve with our strategies. So we have a couple of different things. One is, so for example, when somebody claims a territory on our platform, right? This kind of press release goes out. And
Gotcha.
we've been using this as ad copy, which wasn't getting a lot of impressions, right? Maybe too text heavy, but it's essentially saying that Lisa claimed Parkland, Florida, right?
Okay.
So that's how we're, how we started. And then we have also, let me go back here. So we just started with this one, which is actual testimonials. Last week alone, I received 3 referrals from one financial advisor. These clients were ready to transact and trusted me entirely because of who had referred them to me. So we're starting to do some like this that are maybe more testimonial based as opposed to just new member based. And then we also had reels that showed kind of using the Google Earth, where it's coming from outer space and it lands on a county and it says, congratulations to, Stephanie Peck for claiming, for being the featured agent in Clackamas County, Oregon. So trying to create some more movement. And then we also did this here, which actually had a video, her introducing herself as being, the newest member on our platform. So don't know, it doesn't seem to be working. So we've turned them off for now. So open to any ideas you have. Again, best case scenario would be if we could actually convert these into appointments, but we just don't have the ad spend funding to be able to do that at this point, at some point. But right now it's just kind of an awareness. So any suggestions you have on that would be awesome.
So yeah, I've got a couple of quick ideas, and then just so I'm clear. So the goal is like, if something happens offline, someone will either hear about you guys, opt in, and then opt in or book a call or something like that. And the goal is to just get back in front of those people and maybe heard something a little bit about you guys, but to make sure that they know even more before they talk to you, right?
Yeah, I mean, so we have the names, numbers, and emails of 40,000 ideal real estate agents for our platform. So we have the custom audience of our people. So we're just trying to show up in their news feeds before they get the call. So they're like, it does give them an invitation to click to learn more, and they could actually go through the checkout process. But at this point, because we're optimizing not for clicks, just for impressions to keep the cost down, we're just simply trying to have some awareness that we're not a total foreigner when we show up calling them, right?
Yeah.
So is that a good strategy? I guess is my first question. And secondly, if it is, what advice would you have on our images?
Yeah, I think that the strategy as a whole is good. The only like caveat I was thinking before you like mentioned the list is the size of people that you're going to be targeting or retargeting. If you only had a couple hundred or even a couple thousand, it'll dry up quick. And it gets very difficult for Facebook and Instagram to reach those people. The algorithm's gotten so good recently that the more info you give it, the broader you can get it, the better. So the fact that you have that list and you can use that, that's great. So I think the strategy as a whole is fine for the most part for now. I would just change all the images and all the creative to be like as native looking as possible. And what I mean by that is just, I would just have someone, like if you had that video, for example, on one of them, just have someone pick up the phone and do like selfie style video, put captions on it as if they're posting it on TikTok or Instagram themselves. And that should be your ad. Like super simple. Like it should seem as if like they're an influencer posting the thing, and it seems more native, because I think when you have like the testimonials and stuff like that, and you can still have branding on these other ones that I'm mentioning, but I think it's almost too much where there's like all these different things of text, the picture, the branding. I think people may almost see it and almost feel like it's too much, and then it turns them off versus, oh shoot, like I remember talking to that person, or now they see your face once, or they see someone's face once and they see them talking, or even if it's a carousel like a slideshow, that's good. So that's one idea. The other one is you could just, or go ahead.
I was gonna say, so when you say like somebody doing a selfie, it wouldn't be a camera over their shoulder. It would actually be the actual video of them. Hey, this is Amy. This is Amy Azevedo. I just got 3 referrals last week from the Pro Insight Network from financial advisors. This is working out really great. I'm excited to be a part of it. Something like that. And it's actually her video filming. Okay. Not like over her shoulder, her doing it, but actually. Okay.
Right.
Exactly.
The same thing
Literally
on the creatives. If you looked at some of the creatives he was doing, like he had the 2 brains, but like you could easily do hustle, real estate agent, peaceful, relaxed real estate agent. And you just have the picture on the one side, most agents, hustling, moving all around. And then you have our agents relaxing, enjoying, because they've got the whole Upstream network, right?
Yeah.
So just thinking about how do you use creatives that fit the platforms you're on more than kind of the professional looking things that you had. I think his idea of before and afters work would be one way to do that.
Cool. Great.
The other thing I was thinking about for you, Justin, was that, you had your Upstream model course, which was like a $997 course or something like that.
Yeah.
But I was thinking, if you're selling this $500 deal, is there a way you could take and make a really condensed $47 or $37 version of that? So that would fit with what Nick's talking about here. And then you would get somebody who's already given you some money, and then the upsell would lead them to the $500 a year thing. I think that might be the way to do that. So you just do a 2-hour version of your Upstream model course. Might be the way to use ads there more effectively, because you're going to get some revenue coming in that would pay for the ad costs, versus impressions. You're not getting that.
Yeah. I mean, at $500, right? That's at like $40 a month. I mean, that's kind of right in the sweet spot of what you were saying for the bump, the first bump. Offer,
Exactly.
right?
Recurring, yep.
Yep. I think that's a great idea.
Awesome.
What else were you going to say, Nick? You had some feedback on the creatives. Maybe it was the same as what Bruce was going to say.
It was actually super similar to Bruce. I was going to say, just do like some of those Twitter style creatives with like the before and afters. And you could even set it up as like a carousel post where people can scroll through and kind of read a story. So I think that would be awesome. I think those 2 changes will make a big difference.
So when you say the Twitter style, like I would have like testimonials of agents saying, Pro Insight's been amazing. I love this.
Exactly.
I love that. But
Yeah, kind of like this one. And you could have like multiple slides. So you could start with like, I don't know what Bruce was saying, like the stress, like you could start with some kind of shocking statistic, like over 80% of agents in the US are stressed out with the current conditions, right? And then you could literally have a little picture of like an arrow pointing down like stressed out agent, and another arrow down like agents that work with us. And then you could say like, keep reading to see why our agents are not part of that statistic. And then they'd like swipe, and it'd be another slide that says a little bit more, right? And it keeps kind of going through a story. And then the last slide would say, hey, like if you want to be a not stressed out agent and achieve XYZ, just click below and learn more, something like that.
So it's actually my Twitter handle. I mean, it's actually me just with different slides. Okay.
Sure. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Justin, you might just a thought. Okay. I think what Nick is saying is you need some creatives that actually speak to your audience. Okay, and some tactics, of course, helps. But if I were you and I was trying to highlight that the benefit is the referral aspect of it, then because I'm an agent, I kind of know this a little bit more. Is that if I was an agent, and by the way, I've talked to probably 300-400 agents in the last like 60 days, so I know a little bit what they're struggling with. Okay, and when I ask them where they all their leads come from, I'm like, oh, I get them from my SO, I get them from referrals and stuff like. So it's a really hot word, the word referral. Okay, for you, so I want you to think about the creatives around that word for your business. It's like, do you feel more comfortable getting deals from referrals? That's a hot sentence that like agents will be on that, like whatever, bees on honey,
Wine on rice.
wine on rice. Okay, so this is the creative direction I'm going. You can hear, hopefully you can kind of hear what I'm saying, Justin, because if I say, hey, if you get most of your business from referrals and stuff like that, this might be you. If you want to do a creative around some images or something like that, like before and after, pro inside, whatever, right? So this is the creative aspect that I think that it would benefit you to work on, because I know in the past you was like, oh, my content is stale, just doing the same thing over and over. I can't get, this is the creative aspect that you could be thinking about that really opens stuff up. And literally it's copywriting, right? And once you hit an idea, you can spin that probably 10 different ways around this referral idea, because that's your business model. Okay, that would, I like, if I'm an agent and I'm looking for more referral deals, or like, hey, how can I get more calls and things like that, I would be like on that. There is nothing else.
Yeah.
Right. So hopefully that's a little bit helpful, and maybe you can execute something.
I think the comparison definitely is going to spark interest on whoever is viewing, right? Ordinary agents missing maybe $20,000 a month versus my team, they're making extra $20,000 by working less.
Yeah, that's really good, Ramsey. Thank you.
And you need to probably say something that differentiates you from all these other referral channels that people are just trying to make money off of.
Right.
If you can do that,
leads camouflaged as referrals, right? We've talked about that.
Yeah. If you can do that in simple image, simple words, you will win. Because everybody knows now. Oh, I paid them this thing. Yeah, it's okay. I got one that I converted over a year, stuff like that. How can you beat that? Like, what can you say to say, hey, this is not the same as that. This is something else. And it needs to be like really catchy, right? It can't be a whole bunch of words. That's why I think
Justin,
yeah.
One simple thing that just might be helpful is just like pull up real estate agents, and I had said real estate referrals, and just see what all's on there, and then think ours has to fit in that, because that's what they're going to see. So when you're thinking about creating your creatives, actually getting on the platform and looking at what everyone else is doing, and do you notice who's at the top right corner or left corner? That's Sharran.
I see it. Of course he is.
Yeah, I would suggest that, but then don't do the same thing so that you can stand out. I say, oh, this is what everybody else's typical stuff that people do, and I would do something that's specifically for you. So anyway, there's some creatives for you. Hopefully that's gives you something to work with.
My point was that when you look at these versus what he was showing, that gives you an idea of the platform and what people are going to be seeing. And it's not that full with all that text. Like there's too much text. That was my point.
Yeah, I'm trying.
Like you just scroll through that, hey, I should look more like this.
I'm trying to convince them through the image as opposed to just get their attention, right?
Exactly. And that's one of the things Nick taught me, which I have to learn, right? Which is The job of it's not to convey everything you want, it's to get their attention. And some of us want to make it too perfect to gain their attention.
Good. Thank you guys.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
Good deal. Leo, what do you got for me? Or
I just had a really simple question. I almost forgot.
Don't
So
forget.
I'm probably starting up a couple of school communities, and I'm probably starting up a few more for some of my clients.
Okay.
And when you were doing your funnel stuff, have you done the about landing page and use that as the funnel page for people to enter into the community? And what is your thought around that? I mean, obviously it's a little bit limited, but do you think that works just as good?
I do think it works great. I think it just depends like how your school community is set up, because like how mine used to be, and like with Craig's that Bruce mentioned, is it's free for people to join the community aspect, but then they have to pay if they want like some of like the weekly calls, for example, or like more course material. And that's where the problem comes in, is if someone's free and then they want to upgrade, school makes it really, really difficult. The only way in theory to do it in school is to actually kick the person out and to force them to rejoin through the about link again. They don't have like an easy like upgrade your membership option.
So literally you would have to have a separate community and then upgrade them into that community that's not free. So they would have two different communities, I guess. Is that how that works?
Correct. Yeah, you could do that way, but then you're going to pay $99 a month for each community, which I just find kind of annoying that I have to pay for each one. So what I did for mine is I just made a separate sales page. So if someone does want to upgrade, I'll send them to this page with a video and then the whole sales page that they can see what they get. And then they click here, and it's basically an off, or I mean, now it's redirecting the school, but there's an offline or off school hosted landing page that they will, or I'm sorry, where they buy, and then it kind of,
so that the payment would be separated out. And then
correct.
How do you track them? Now they're in the community, how do you differentiate between somebody who's paid and who's not paid?
That's a great question. Well, it does just automatically unlock everything through like a Zap, so that people that are paid, like they get access to it. I mean, it's the only way really to track is every week. I would probably just have someone on my team or myself kind of look through the list of paying members and make sure that those same members have access in school. I haven't had a problem with it. In the perfect world, everyone that joins, just like for now moving forward, I just have people pay just to join the group regardless. But yeah, school needs to figure out a way to like be able to upgrade people.
I see.
Yeah.
I see. That's how you did it. I guess if at least you're making enough money, you just pay the extra $99 and just have a community per month. I guess that's not terrible, right?
It's not.
Yeah, but also, you know, with the school games, Alex is saying, I don't know if you know, I'm enrolled in it. I just enrolled in it like yesterday. But they require that all the payments for the members for the school game has to be the stripe within the school games. So now you can't separate the payment out if it's part of school games. So either you're playing the game or you're just doing a separate thing.
Exactly.
Because otherwise they can't track your MRR.
Yeah, that's the only way that's the only thing I don't like about it, is it's tough to upgrade within school. You can get people to do it, and maybe I just haven't looked at it enough to see. Like maybe there's a billing section where I can see kind of what people,
because that's literally what they're asking people to do in their instruction videos, is go to the about page, and that's your sales page, put your video on there and put your description and stuff in it so that they can enroll right there and pay for it right there.
Yeah. I mean, when I go, let me see, I'm curious if I can see.
Sorry if this is boring to you guys.
No, it's fine. Yeah, I would reach out to them to see, because I'm like clicking on someone that's a free member and I go to their subscription. It doesn't give me a way to change their. Yeah, you basically just have to, at least from what I can see, you have to remove them from the group in full and then get them to rejoin again from your about page, but then to pay instead of for free.
So currently, are you because yours is a free to paid? Is yours is free and then paid?
It was. I just changed it now. It's you have to pay to get in.
Okay, so just pay to get in now.
Correct.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
But you do have on yours things that are private and things that are open,
Yeah, I do.
right? So you can unlock certain courses. That's how you can solve Leo's
Yeah,
problem.
it's the courses that's
you can
either
kinda
paid or
control
unpaid.
it.
But what he's saying is if somebody started out as free and you needed to make them paid, they have to get kicked out and then pay back in. Which is
Yeah.
that,
I don't
that
know.
part.
Maybe.
But yeah, I think if you have the free and they have access to 3 courses for free, I think that's what Craig did. You got access to like 3 or 4 courses, and then the rest of it was locked out. And then if you pay, then the rest of it most of it gets locked out, but still some other stuff, because I think there's a 3rd level on
Correct.
top of that.
Yeah, like their payment is handled off of the school platform if they pay.
Right.